Hi, I'm Cale Waddacor, and I'm a graffiti photographer and documenter, and I live in Johannesburg, South Africa. When I was like 12, 13, 14, on family holidays, I used to mess around with my mom's film camera. That kind of started something, but then it didn't really take it too seriously until I got my first cell phone camera. And then from then, I was always just walking around, and then actually that's what I also started taking graffiti photos with a cell phone camera. And from there, I bought a small compact digital camera. And then ever since then, it just the love of photography grew. One photo in the book that I used an iPhone because I didn't have my camera that day. And actually, when you look at the photo in the book, you probably wouldn't really know.
What was the first piece of graffiti that you photographed? Can you remember?
There was a piece also on the way to my school that someone did, and they basically had their graffiti tag just in bubble letters, and then next to it they wrote art or crime. And then always was driving every day for school for a whole year, and you see that piece at the stop street right across the road. It just always intrigued me, like you'd always think about it when you saw it, art or crime. You get the two sides to the story, the people who are not in the graffiti scene and the people in the graffiti scene. And then that's when I just started getting the whole, someone needs to document this art form.
So large degree graffiti is seen as criminal or as vandalism. I mean, there are so many graffiti artists now who get paid commissions to do these things. There's a guy who was chatting just now saying that it's his livelihood. So do you think it's actually changing a bit now that people aren't necessarily only perceiving graffiti as vandalism or as purely criminality?
I think, yeah, the graffiti is getting more and more in the commercial sense now. People are understanding and using it for businesses and advertising and actually supporting the art and kind of considering it as a modern art form or trendy art form. Especially in Joburg. With graffiti, guys don't just start graffiti and do an amazing mural. They'll kind of, you have to develop your skill with the spray can and spray paint. And most of that guys will end up, they start tagging and you'll write your name as a joke or as you see someone doing it and you think, oh, let me try it. And then from then on, basically that builds your skill set. And then you start doing, you realize that, it's almost like using a pencil. And a lot of the guys who've been doing it for a long time realize that it's a very big passion or hobby for them. And if they can actually make money from it, like why not turn that into a career path? It's just great to see that the support it's actually been getting. But there'll always be the negative side to it. And also there's always new guys coming into the graffiti world who do the tagging and stuff that kind of people see as visual pollution. But then there's also, I guess you can't have the one without the other. I've been wanting to do this book for a very long time, and I approached a few publishers locally and they just really didn't understand the graffiti scene, and I guess it was also a few years ago when the graffiti scene was a bit younger and not as developed as it is now. And they just also didn't see it as a profitable thing, I think. And then I guess overseas now there's a lot of graffiti books from all over the world and focusing on all the different countries. And then the publisher that I got was just very interested because no one's done a South African graffiti book. So I think they knew that doing it would actually be a good thing for them to actually take on, and it would be worth the risk. And it's great to see how people have been responding to the book, both locally and abroad. Now they basically hold an A to Z Bible of everything that's here. And overseas, people don't really know what's been happening here, and now it's great for them to actually see it in a book. And it helps with a lot of international artists that want to come here and paint. And also for tourism, a lot of people have been coming on graffiti tours here from overseas.
How long did it take you to actually get all of the content and do the research?
For the book itself, I basically, when I got the publishing deal end of 2012, in 2013 they said to me, okay, you can have 6 months or 1 year to deliver a book to us, and then I chose 6 months because I already had been wanting to do it for a while, and I had a whole collection of images, and basically from then what I did is I looked through my images and kind of started the selection process. Then I also contacted a few graffiti artists and other graffiti photographers, just because I thought, you know, I don't want to be missing anything important that I might not have got to, because a lot of the time graffiti, it's ever changing, so some of the pieces I've never actually found because they've been painted over or removed, or the buildings collapsed or something like that. So then I thought maybe actually also to get the artists involved in the process, and also some of them to actually send me images that they think best reflect themselves as an artist.
During your travels while you were collecting all the research, were there any specific moments or any highlights that you can remember?
The journey was just really interesting for me, because also I've been following the graffiti scene here, and I've known a bit about the history. And then I'm doing the book, I thought, you know, you need to actually solidify all the facts and, you know, cross-check things and find guys that, you know, you've heard of, but no one's really actually collected. Because a lot of the graffiti has never been published before in a book or saved anyway. So a lot of it's almost like hearsay, and it was really interesting to find out about the old stuff and early developments of the graffiti scene, because a lot of the guys aren't around anymore, or they just fell off from the graffiti scene or even the hip hop scene, because a lot of the graffiti is related to the early hip hop scene here in South Africa. And it was just interesting to actually meet some of the important figures and hear about the history, and hear also their personal stories and all that as well. And it just developed my knowledge of graffiti, which I had a strong passion for, and it was just really nice overall.
Graffiti art is often used as a form of social political voice. Now, in a South African context, that is quite possibly very relevant. But what is your viewpoint on this, considering our current political climate in South Africa?
I think graffiti can be very powerful with bringing across messages or commentary on social political things. And in South Africa, it's got a very deep history of all these things that you can actually, you know, reflect on all these issues, and also currently with all the state of the nation, things that are happening at the moment. But then it's quite weird how most of the graffiti here painted recently doesn't really reflect so much social political issues. Maybe you get artists like Faith 47, who's a lot of her pieces she did a big series on the Freedom Charter, and that reflected on social political issues. But a lot of the times guys are actually just doing, expressing themselves in murals, and it doesn't really have anything to do with commentary. I think it's more like personal art and painting their names or painting characters. And it's quite weird because you could do so much more to reflect on these issues, and especially how in poor communities and in rich communities you can also, you know, create a dialogue, and I don't know, but hopefully there's some of that to still come.